Thank you, John, Diane, and Patchouli for hosting uh, poetry. Poetry is not dead, so um, we're living proof. Um, how many of you have ever been to a poetry event? How many of you have ever been to a spoken word or slam event? Okay, good. So slam and spoken word events very much go with audience participation. It's a whole vibe. The audience should feel it. If you want to respond, respond. If you want to clap, if you want to ooh and ah, if you want to snap your fingers. If you want to outburst, come on, poet. That's right, poet. Feel free to do that. Okay? This is our event put together. We're in a nice cool space here. We have a vibe, and it's going to be cool. All right? To my left is our ASL interpreter, Rebecca Van Noy. If anyone needs to use the service of the ASL interpreter, please make your way to the front, and we can accommodate that space for you if you should need. Great. All right. Today is December 3rd. It is International Day of Disabled People. I'm not big into awareness days, so I plan to take these days to honor community and amplify community. So that's what I'll be doing today. It's also the 1-year anniversary of the virtual launch of my book, Crypt Lyrics. So if you don't have a copy, there's some copies here available that you can get from Patchouli Joe's. Right? With all that said, any questions before we get started? No? Remember, I said audience participation, so you can't be quiet. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I am a firm believer that poetry is way more than poetry. It can start a revolution, it can start a movement. There are some people who believe that poetry is just poetry. So this poem that I'll begin with speaks to those people. Oh, content warning. A lot of my poetry has language, adult language, themes of oppression, ableism, misogyny, so forth and so on. So this poem, begin language, is titled Another Fucking Poem, and I hope you like it. And I will end each poem with the word poem, so that way you know it's done. Another fucking poem. Maybe this is the poem you remember when you wake up in the morning, when the sun interrupts your silence, light shining on the violence. Who tore the label without the warnings? May cause drowsiness, they woke. May not be covered by insurance, they broke. Take 6 pills, 6 times daily, for 6 lifetimes, with plenty of water. They choke, but we're too medicated to see. Open eyes have night vision that catch thieves in the temple. Those glasses blind vision, but they look so good resting against your temples. Maybe this is the door to liberation and not inclusion, because we all know that comes with white strings attached. There goes another high-rise on stolen dirt. There goes another oil rig while the earth hurts. There goes another bailout, suit and shirt. Greed chasing bloody Benjamins. Kids wondering where the adults have been. War zones disguised as classrooms. Breaking news at 10. Are those cops still waiting in the hallway? Maybe this is the song that you listen to in your car when you're making that all-important coffee run. Don't look out your window. Cardboard signs clutched in hungry hands stretched out. Pray to your God that the light turn green, stressed out. Street signs leading you to that side of town. Bless now that your spine is not being crushed by uniform swine. Oppressed how? Perhaps, privilege exits stage left now. Karen, your grande chai latte is ready now. Or maybe, just maybe, this is just another fucking poem. Clever metaphors mixed in with rhythmic rhymes, unread between the lines, alliteration masterfully manipulated to mobilize messages, passages born at a beloved throat, a beat of heart, and a burn of soul. But yeah, keep your sunglasses on. Move along. There's nothing to see here. Just another fucking poem. Poem. So these next couple of pieces come from my book, Crypt Lyric. I think these are the only two pieces I'll be reading from the book. So as a disability justice activist and obvious disabled person, a lot of my poetry has to do with the disability experience. And this poem is probably the oldest poem I have. It's the very beginning of my poetry writing, so it's very simple. But a lot of people tend to like it. It's not one of my favorites. I'm going to do it anyway. So this poem is titled Chair Thing. So, this chair thing, this you're kind of scared thing, this eye-catching, making you stare thing, the thought-prompting, curiosity-leading, causing you to wonder thing. Let me answer your everything, your I never knew thing, I kind of figured thing, I have no idea thing, I have a fascination thing, the does it hurt thing, how do you put your shirt thing, do you flirt thing, what about the sex thing, the does it get erect thing, the taboo subject thing, the simple and complex thing, the you want to race thing, the how fast can you go thing, the embarrassed face thing, the how do you go thing. Wouldn't it be comforting getting rid of the ignorance thing, the wall that blocks the knowledge thing, the key to the enlightenment? So, this chair thing, the are you ready to be aware thing, the let's stop the stare thing, the get over your scared thing. Oh. See, you gotta do like some of that. Never do. Don't know what it is about that one. I remember doing a training, this was years ago, San Diego, for the San Diego Padres baseball team. And a couple hundred people, and I opened it up for questions. And I always open up anything I do with questions about anything. And you had, there was maybe a 40-year-old gentleman who asked me, how do you go to the bathroom? So I think the first response to that, or what you want to do, is maybe be offended. But when you really think about it, that really begins with childhood. How many children are curious and want to touch a wheelchair, or look at someone with a cane, or see someone different, and the first reaction of the parent is pull them away, or don't look, or don't ask. So oftentimes when I'm confronted with a child and they come and ask me a question, I let them ask, I let them touch. Because that child will be the 40-year-old male in a meeting asking another male, how do you go to the bathroom? So that's kind of where a chair thing comes in. The second poem, Worthy, really comes from the lockdown back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when COVID started, and the Twitter hashtag, disabled people are worthy, was trending. So this is worthy. Worthy we are, our bodies so different than theirs, breathe, move, yet they disapprove. Rejection of our existence, objection to our resistance, ableist spirits keep us at a distance. Worthy we are, yet segregated, isolated from society's circles. Their words and actions, silence mothers discard hurtful. Worthy we are, our bodies, though different than yours, rise, resist. We rather insist. Rejection of your abled privilege, objection to your rabid pillage. Crip chants loudly surround the village. Worthy we are, yes, agitated, aggravated by society's circles. Your words and actions, defiance others but the scars are worthful. Worthy we are. Poem. I use the word crip a lot in my language. Title of my book is Crip Lyrics. For those that don't know, crip is basically a reclamation word from crippled. So in order to empower the word as our identity as opposed to using it as a derogatory, many disabled people use the word crip. You now have permission to call me crip whenever you see me. I take that as a badge of honor. There's some poetry spaces where I'm known as crip. And I like it. But don't do that to other people. They may not like it as well. This next piece is part of a manuscript that I'm working on, titled A Breath Is. And I really want to capture the significance and importance of what a single breath is for disabled people. So all the poems in that collection talk about what a breath is. A breath could be a love story, resistance, it could be anything. And I think it's also just a reminder for the disability community to really honor yourselves and honor the breath that you're able to take. So the title of this poem is Lungs of Battle. Do you like it? Behold, open your mind and gaze. See the angry embers rise from the flames of destruction's haze. The torches that lead me through darkness, impaled by a single breath, through the veils of isms and systems, through the layers of guarded prisons, through the wickedness of the risen, through one breath is a fire starter beneath an ocean destined to drown. Silence. Surrender your ears and listen. Hear the wrath and remains of righteous resistance. The rage against the machine. Forces crumble with a single roar. Shaken. The foundations of oppression shake. Shaken. The hold of steel cages break. Shaken. Fingers wrapped around defiance ache. Shaken. One breath is a thunderclap in the still of desert stench. Be still. Open your soul's partition. Feel the gash and slash of blades incision. The sword of abolition. Lacerating webs and threads of strongholds. Broken the ropes of ridicule. Broken the chains of governing goals. Broken shackles shatter into gems and jewels. Broken, one breath is a machete in the thick of jungle's grip. I have these lungs, though scarred and shallow, hardened through battle. One breath rumbles, one breath rattles. One breath topples towers and babble. One breath is what remains from these lungs of battle. Poem. Do we have our bongo player?
No, he's here.
She's there. All right. I got one more. Though.
One more?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll set it up.
Have a seat. So I host a virtual poetry space entitled Thunder and Lightning quarterly. And Thunder and Lightning specifically and exclusively features disabled BIPOC and or disabled queer poets. Even within the disability community, there is racism, there is homophobia, there is sexism, there's all of that. So for me, Thunder and Lightning is a very sacred space. It's always just a real cool community to be part of. And I wrote this piece to perform during one of the shows, so I'll read it for you. It's entitled 1000 Plus One, a Pride Song. Centuries ago, a wealthy monarch penned a proverb, pride comes before the fall. The basic premise behind this writing is one of humility, humbleness. Humility and humbleness. It's no wonder why I've fallen 1,000 times. You see, humility is not a scar found on this brown and beautifully broken body. No, I have strapped myself to the harness of humility in the past, thinking, hoping I would be held high and secure. You see, humbleness is not a song sung by this tied tongue. No, I have chanted hymns of humbleness in my youth, only to be belittled and left behind with the echoes of my lyrics of truth. It's no wonder I've fallen 1,000 times. Marsha P. Johnson is a celebrated icon, an activist, drag performer, sex worker. She was black, queer, and trans, and proudly advocated for her rights and the rights of the LGBTQ community. The Gang of 19 were a group of disabled activists who blocked traffic in downtown Denver in a protest against the lack of access on public buses. For 24 hours, they proudly held their ground. Wheelchairs immovable, the concrete serving as their overnight beds, chanting, "We will ride." Harvey Milk was the first openly gay politician to be elected in California. He proudly worked on behalf of the gay community. Christina Sanz proudly shattered stigmas as the first disabled Latinx to win an Emmy Award. Laverne Cox is a black trans woman who proudly advocates for the LGBTQ plus community and the first trans person to be nominated for an Emmy Award. And disabled activist Brad Lomax founded the Washington, D.C. chapter of the Black Panther Party. And he proudly organized the first African Liberation Day demonstration. You see, humility and humbleness are not homes to the trailblazers, change makers, and liberators. You see, when society deems us as different, despised, unworthy, and less than, there are only two options. One, we can quietly take our seats at the table, prepared for us, unfold the pristine ivory napkin, politely handle the blunt yet polished silverware, and with gratitude munch on the morsels of freshly baked humble pie. Or two, in the name of pride, turn the tables of pristine ivory. In the name of pride, turn the dull utensils into daggers of defiance. In the name of pride, stand, inhale with intention, and breathe out a bold and bellowing no. You see, pride does come before the fall. The fall of isms and systems, the fall of stigmas and prisons, the fall of a world that sees us as unworthy and less than. We have all fallen 1,000 times, yet in the name of pride we rise 1,000 plus one. Poem. Remember, you don't have to wait till the poem's over to express your, you can snap, you can be like, oh shit, that's a good one. So now that I'm warmed up here, come on now. Don't fall asleep. This isn't one of those little pristine poetry events that you have to be quiet. Has anyone ever been to a Black Baptist church? Or Black outburst? Yes, so I am the pastor, you're the congregation. You hear something good, let me hear it. All right. Thank you. There you go, Jim. How many of you are familiar with Gil Scott-Heron? A couple people. Gil Scott-Heron is a revolutionary poet from the 70s and 80s. He's attributed to being one of the founders of the hip-hop and spoken word. I recently discovered him, and he's known for one of his poems is entitled "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." So, in honor of that poem, I put together a piece called "The Revolution Will Not Be Accessible." So with me to perform that poem is our friend and fellow community organizer and advocate, Sam Escalante. So we've only practiced once, so this is gonna go good. This will go swimmingly. You ready? You will not be able to join the masses, brother. You will not be able to get out, get loud, and get proud. You will not be able to lose yourself in the fight and skip out on oppression, because the revolution will not be accessible. The revolution will not be accessible. The revolution will not be closed caption for the hearing impaired. Brother, you will have to figure that shit out for yourself, because the revolution will not provide ASL interpreters. The revolution will not show you pictures of Joe Biden blowing a bugle and leading military forces to seek and destroy stairs, and stereotypes. The revolution will not be accessible. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Christopher Reeve Foundation, Easterfield, or the Special Olympics, and will not star Stephen Hawking as Stevie Wonder or Frida Kahlo and Helen Keller. The revolution will not be socially distanced. The revolution will not be flattening the curve. The revolution will not be mandated. The revolution will not be accessible, brother. There will be no pictures of us on Instagram with inspirational captions. There will be no trending tweets or TikToks about the handicapped, the handicapable, the differently able, the special needs, the stricken, the victim, the unfortunate, the bedbound, the wheelchair bound, the crazy. We will not go viral because hashtag the revolution will not be accessible. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers going through a mental health crisis. There will be no pictures of pigs putting a chokehold on brothers with asthma, diabetes, and heart conditions. There will be no pictures of pigs bashing brothers with PTSD, ADHD, ASD, and IBD. Those photos will be flagged as inappropriate content and removed for not following community guidelines, because the revolution will not be accessible. The revolution will not be accessible. There will be no ramps leading into the back of the building, through the kitchen and trash area of the post-protest party. In case of emergency, use stairs will be on every headline, byline, park sign, and political promise. Blue parking spaces will be reserved for farmers markets, seasonal plant sales, and FedEx trucks delivering dollies of discrimination. The revolution will not offer material in braille or large print. Brother, you will have to figure that shit out for yourself, because the revolution will not recognize your German Shepherd as a seeing eye dog. The revolution will not be accessible. The revolution will not cash your Social Security check. The revolution will not accept your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Section 8 voucher, or your VA benefits. The revolution will encourage you to vote, but you will have to walk, limp, or roll to the nearest polling location to vote for someone who doesn't look or sound like you, because the revolution will not provide accessible transportation. The revolution will not be accessible, will not be accessible, will not be accessible, will not be accessible. The revolution will not be accessible, brothers, unless we figure that shit out for ourselves. Come on. That's a good rhythm. I think I'll start a band after this. Okay. So our next piece is actually from the book with a little modification. This is Neil remixed. So I added a little something to it. I know this is one of Joe's favorites, so. Again, if you don't have my book, feel free to grab one. And we'll get started. Neil. Yeah. If I could walk against atrocities, oppression, that flag of false impression. They say this is the land of the free. Well, apparently, if you don't look like me. Evil caucasity, well, that must be the code for liberty. If I could walk, I would kneel on the backs and necks of isms and systems that capitalize on prisons. These cases are outrageous. Your privilege is fucking outrageous. They're determined to engage us through historical pages of lies and televised hatred, of lies and televised violence. Brothers and sisters, our voices can no longer be silent. If I could walk, I sure as hell would kneel. It's time to prepare for battle, arm ourselves with revolutionary steel, circle the pigs and make them squeal. White supremacy, White House supremacists, our targets are set. Bullets of black fists, brown fists, native fists, queer fists, triple fists. We've had enough of this. Righteous anger responds like this. Like Jesus at the temple, turning tables. It's time to turn the tables of our temple. I said, like Jesus at the temple, turning tables. It's time to turn the tables of our temple. If you can walk, why aren't you kneeling? Oh. You like that one, Joe?
A little bit.
A little bit? I remember Joe, when I read a couple months ago, Joe came up to me. Oh my God, that poem you said, if I could stand, I would kneel. And in my head, it's like, if I could walk, I if I could stand. But I got the gist, though. It's always cool to get immediate feedback on your work, even if it touches one person. I'm a firm believer that there's no such thing as bad poetry. Even if it's a poem about grass, you can find a line that you can really resonate to. So hopefully there are a few lines during this hour that you can grab onto. So our last poem with the bongos, take the sample. This is called Footprints. This one's a little different. The disability experience can be very alienating, lonely experience. And I think for someone, I use myself as an example. Many of us are not given a full life to live or diagnosis, so when you get to a certain age, you realize, wow, I'm still here. But there are so many people who have come and gone, and it's pretty surreal in the way to think about that. And then, of course, there's friendships and relationships that never materialize because disability is a shitty thing sometimes. This is called Footprints. I hope you like it. You can tell by the tracks. That's all right. So if you want practice. You can tell by the tracks of my tires that not everyone who began this journey still rides with me. Footprints in the sand are washed away the closer they get to the ocean's reach. I've never been one to play it safe. Wheelchairs are meant to carry dreams and desires of the destitute, aren't they? It is true that the pursuit of happiness is clothed in cobblestone, combat zones. Its scars can sing, melodies and memories of friends and enemies would ring, like church bells. But not the feel-good or happy day rendition. It's more like the dearly beloved. We are gathered here today, darkened day, mourning loss of the black suit day edition. Because not everyone who began this journey still rides with me. Footprints on the snow-covered porch form soon after the first breeze. Friendships flourish with the chains of winter, keep you bound to me. Disease, crippling you as I, boundaries, keeping you bound to me. Similarities, a season of camaraderie and honesty. If only winters will last for an eternity. Free-flaming laughter, after laughter, the spring comes so much faster. Disaster, the thaw begins, and the evidence of you becomes a river running down this crippled gloom, running down the sun-filled room, reminding that not everyone who began this journey still rides with me. Footprints in my heart sound like baby steps. Little toes that pitter-patter through the corridors of my soul. Sound like childhood joy sneaking into the excitement of a cookie jar. Tiptoeing through the thrill of tinsel. Going through another pair of shoes. Sound like milestones, cobblestones, combat zones. Sound like silence, the deafening sound of an empty corridor rings. Like church bells, but not the feel-good or happy day rendition. You can tell by the tracks of my tires, tracks that travel through roadways of revolution and pathways that may pave ways for tomorrow's generation, are tattooed on surfaces of sacrifice and solitude, tracks that tell the tale of footprints that no longer ride with me. Paul. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for Sam. I appreciate it. Okay. So not every poem I write is specifically about disability. That everything that is goes on in the world is a disability issue. So that's kind of how we do something a little bit different with this one. I kind of hesitated when I first wrote this and performing it anywhere. Well, give my note. So this was my response to the Roe versus Wade decision that happened a few months ago. And as a poet, especially a political poet, you try to, you want to at least express something that speaks to that. And of course, as a man, it was a little difficult, a little challenging to write this. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you don't, please let me know. Okay. This was entitled Penis Poem, a Confession. And it is part confession, it's all revolutionary. I was born with a penis. And you're okay to laugh if you want to. I was born with a penis. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Not another penis poem. Not another mansplaining, Johnson swinging, me Tarzan singing, machismo swinging, ding-a-dinging, penis poem. I understand. I hear the chants and disdain. I see the stance and pain. And in a very different way, I feel the same. Wait, allow me to try this again. You see, Father, as he acknowledges my presence, I was born with a penis. And yes, I confess to not always doing my best to address this cowardice. You see, Father, he allows for me to continue. I was born with a penis. And I'm ashamed, because history has revealed that this organ, this tissue and flesh is connected to so much maliciousness. Colonizers, killers, thieves and oil diggers. You see, Father, he groans and becomes restless. I was born with a penis. and ingrained in society's brain is the false notion that you and I rule and reign. Power and privilege, rape and pillage. Isn't it time to torch this patriarchal village? You see, Father, he sighs in anger. I was born with a penis. And don't get me wrong, I'm quite fond of him, her, they, this non-binary peninsula of peace and pleasure. And at the same time, I loathe its heritage of hatred, its ancestry of anger, its fascination with fascism and false freedom. You see, Father, he begins to breathe in disapproval. I was born with a penis. And maybe it's time to keep it in my pants. Maybe it's time to think with this head and not that one. Maybe it's time to insert all metaphors that strip away any sense of entitlement. You see, Father, his silence fills the room. I was born with a penis. And it's their voice. And it's their body. And it's their choice. And I wonder, Father, his fists tightly grip the black-covered script. If indeed he created she from he, then why are you not clutching your ribs and gasping with each and every step of the anger and agony? Why are you not screaming rage at the tyranny? Why do your eyes not see the hypocrisy? Oh, wait, I see, Father. You were born with a penis too. Paul. Thank you. That's a rough one. But every poet has a back in the day poem, especially if you're a little older like myself. Everything was better back in the day. So this one is entitled When Butterflies Were Butterflies. And this is just a little back in the day. Some of it's personal, some of it's social commentary. Hope you like it. When butterflies were butterflies. Back then, butterflies would land on the leaves of the tallest trees, still glistening from the morning rain, the breeze and those gentle drops dancing in my extended tongue, cops helping the elderly cross streets run to the corner store with a million dreams and $1, run home before the dark takes over. Sense was a common language back then. I didn't have GPS to guide me back home. My mother's voice calling my name was always a lighthouse in the fog of my childhood. Can you smell that? Take a long, deep inhale and let the aroma of my abuela's cooking merengue through your mind. Man, abuela could do magic with a clove of garlic and a healthy heap of happiness. Happiness looked like a wiffle ball back then. The black car is first base, the manhole is second base, the brown pickup is third. Black and brown seemed to matter back then. And color was a crayon that transformed the white page into a masterpiece. The master's piece must have eluded us back then. I mean, church was a daily destination. I mean, Jesus was every occasion. I mean, the pastor's visit was coffee, cake, and condemnation. I mean, getting into heaven, that was a whole ass hoop that his wheelchair just couldn't jump. A couple of baptisms and a dozen altar calls hopefully did the trick back then. Tricks were made for kids. Cardboard tubes turned into tunnel visions of galaxies unseen by the naked eye. Paper airplanes, carefully crafted to carry cargoes of curiosity into the sapphire sky. A rubber band and a garden pebble was enough to take down every Goliath. Why didn't you just tell me you had cancer? E.T. would have phoned home back then, but I was at the mall, running from ghosts faster than Pac-Man, hoping those power pellets would get me to the next level, man. Time to put on the cape and become Superman. I guess transforming from caterpillar to butterfly without a father was my best trick back then. Butterflies grew and fluttered in my stomach whenever I saw her in the lunchroom, whenever her hand accidentally touched mine, whenever I received one of those handwritten notes, meticulously folded into a geometric-shaped proclamation of, I hurt you. But when did butterflies stop being butterflies? Tall trees traded for towers of tomorrow's tears, vows to protect and serve, shatter into bullets of brutality. Happiness and peace now come in easy to swallow pills. Grandma and Jesus are gone anyways. I mean, no one's folding a love note 77 times when a text message carries the same sentiment. But does it though? Sometimes I just long for a time when butterflies were simply butterflies. This is my mother, Kelly wrote this.
Assembler of nightstands.
I introduced her because this is the first time she's seen me perform in person, so kind of cool. All right. How much now? We got about 10 minutes. So this next poem, it's a little longer, so I'll take a little time. This one is specifically about COVID, and more specifically, it's my response to the CDC and the CDC director when they proclaimed earlier this year the quote-unquote good news that the majority of people who died of COVID were people who were unwell, chronically ill, compromised, disabled. So, this is my response. The title of the poem is called Graves of the Unwell and Other Beautiful Things. They are fathers of tomorrow's leaders, sons of mothers who mourn and celebrate simultaneously, as if one could exist without the other. They are brothers of brothers who so bonds the DNA gifted by ancestors of ancestors, brothers of sisters who have already paved the way to today, this moment, the right now, although nothing is right now. News of an airborne virus in a far-off land affecting far-off people hits the airwaves. Thank God it's them instead of you, and thank God it's there instead of here, and thank God it's only news. They are mothers of future generations, daughters of fathers who labor and laugh simultaneously, as if one could exist without the other. They are sisters of sisters who share birthmarks, curly hair, and that glistening smile from mother's grandmother's grandmother. They are sisters of brothers who carry the weight of the board today, this moment, the right now, because nothing is right now. News of the airborne virus that began in a far-off land and has landed on this land is trending on the Twitter sphere. Thank God it's only nursing homes and not your homes. And thank God it's only them instead of you. And thank God it's only a tweet. They are lovers of lovers who cherish the beauty of brokenness, lovers of justice and life's simple pleasures simultaneously, as if one could exist without the other. They are lovers of stars and moons and constellations and all things that puncture holes through the veils of darkness. They are lovers amidst the indifference of today, this moment, the right now, because no one cares right now. News of the airborne virus that is not on this land is death, silence, empty. The streets that scream into the faces of violence, empty. The arms of those who say their final goodbyes to a digital screen, empty. The hearts that scoff at the images of makeshift caskets. Thank God it's not your injustice. And thank God it's not your casket. And thank God it's only news. They are believers of dreamers and all things unseen. Believers of pain's rhythmic heartbeat and joys of permanent glee simultaneously. as if one could exist without the other. They are believers of the supernatural, mystic forces that topple dynasties until empires belong to those beneath the rubble. They are believers amidst the apathy of this day, this moment, the right now, because no one believes right now. News of the airborne virus that is now on this land is eugenics. The CDC director shared that 75% of those who have been killed by the virus were people who had multiple health issues, eugenics. So really, these people were unwell to begin with, eugenics. Yes, really encouraging views, eugenics. Thank God it's them instead of you. They are royalty, kings, queens, lords of luscious emerald hills, sands of pristine ivory, seas of the clearest crystal, rulers of fate and freedom simultaneously, as if one could exist without the other. They are mighty guardians of peace, serenity that transforms scars, birthed out of disregard, to flawlessly mended ornaments glistening brighter than 1,000 suns. They are divinity above the wicked of today, this moment, the right now, because graves of the unwell and all their beauty are marvelous right now. Poem. I think one of the biggest crimes is how disabled people are viewed, even now in 2022, when a director or a governing agency can just say, hey, isn't it great news that only sick people are dying? Disabled people are dying? That's wonderful news. We can have time for one more? Yeah? Thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the poetry. Thank you again to Joe and Diane and Patchouli Joe. Thank you for Rebecca for doing the ASL. Thank you to Sam for bringing in the bongos and doing those beats. So let's end on a love poem.
Okay.
Love poems are good, huh? Yes, disabled people do love, disabled people have sex, it's the whole thing. So. And this is a little short, so. This one's called Unicorn's Love. I don't perform a lot of love poetry, but I have a few, so. This one's Unicorn's Love. So unique, a love that neither eyes will see, nor ears will hear, our brokenness. Our brokenness set apart from the mundane. Scars like snowflakes, unduplicated, gently falling on our heart, frail, innocent, with no regards to yester pains, yester hurts, yester shames, rhythmically, simultaneously, existing for a love so unique, a passion for one another's being so unique, disregarding society's views of imperfection, our imperfection, of body, of mind, of breath. We crave to touch, to taste, to lust, our lust. Surreal intoxication, unending sense of desire, unending sound of ecstasy, unending touch of passion's hand, climaxing in a passion so unique. You, I, we, so unique. Each sunrise like the first, each sunset like the last. Each glance as if our eyes have met at an instant, our instant. The whisper of the cool breeze, the caress of the moon's pool, the serene of the night that sparked a visceral longing for something, someone so unique. Poem. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again for coming to my breakfast. If you're interested, thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming, and for those of you who are hearing Val for the first time, I hope you We're moved, as I am every time I hear him. I want to thank you, Val. Obviously, I cannot see the world through your eyes, so I am eternally grateful for your incredible skill at describing it in a way that touches me as a human being, and I cannot thank you enough for that, Val. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.